All right, collecting and organizing data is what we're talking about right now. So when you go through and collect data, you're doing it for a specific purpose. You have some question you're trying to answer. You are doing some research in a specific area, and so you're putting together your questions ahead of time. I've got some terms I'd like you to know about. One is called a population. Population is who you're trying to find information about. And sometimes that population could actually be very, very large. So population, if you could talk to everyone, that is the group of people or group of animals or group of things that you would like to know about. The next one is the realistic part, the sample. Since you can't talk to everyone, many times it's not possible to talk to everyone in your population or to collect information on every single thing or animal or whatever it is in your population. So you pull a sample. You're going to, instead of talking to every dentist in the entire state of Minnesota, you're going to have a sample of 100 dentists. You know that's not the entire population of dentists, but it's not realistic to talk to every single one. So you're going to talk to a sample. Um, you want to collect information on rattlesnakes. You know you can't catch every single rattlesnake in the entire state of Minnesota to perform experiments on them and then release them. And so you take a sample, just a certain number. When you take a sample, you want to do what's called a random sample. You'd like to collect a random sample so that you get really good information about that population. So to represent the population well, get information from all different parts of it. So if you're talking about um, a certain thing, let's say you're wondering about the number of students that um, read at least a half an hour each night, and you're interested in the elementary school. When you take a random sample, you're going to want um, students from first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade. You don't want just information about fifth graders or fourth graders. You want to make sure that you get a good sample, a good random sample that pulls from many different areas of the population so so that the data you get represents that whole population well. All right, some more about collecting and organizing data. The survey, this is the question, or these are the questions that you're going to ask to get your information. And so when you go about starting to collect data, you've got some things that you're going to collect, and that is going to be part of your survey. A frequency table is what you're going to use to organize your data as you collect it. So when you're asking somebody a question, you're going to have a clipboard with a paper, and you're going to be writing down on your paper the answer to the questions, and that's going to be data for you to start to answer your questions. And then we have what's called a cumulative frequency table. And after you're done collecting your data, then you take that information and put it onto your frequency cumulative frequency table. All right, so just going to run through just a sample problem here. How many minutes do middle school and high school students spend on homework each night? All right. Would it be right to ask just 20 middle school boys? The answer is nope. You wouldn't ask just 20 middle school boys because that would not represent the whole population. We're talking about middle school and high school students. So when we do 20 middle school boys, We're not asking middle school girls. We're not asking high school girls. We're not asking high school boys. So there are several population or several portions of the population that get left out here. Okay, so I wouldn't do just 20 middle school boys. Now, when I look at the next one, it says ask 20 middle school students. Okay, so now you've got boys and girls, but again, you're missing part of that population. You're missing high school boys and high school girls in this one. This one asked 20 middle school girls. This one's not correct either because if you ask middle school girls, then you're missing out on middle school boys, high school girls. All right, so this one asked 10 middle school girls and 10 middle school boys. So that's similar to this one where you're asking 20 middle school students, but you're still missing out on the high school students. All right, so all of this was to show that if you're going to do a good random sample, you would ask 5 middle school boys, 5 middle school girls, 5 high school boys, 5 high school girls, and you're going to get a good mix of that population. Many different parts of that population are going to get asked questions so that you can get good data. All right, so as you're asking the kids questions in your survey, and you're taking down tally marks. Tally marks look like this. Many kids have seen these before. They don't know they're called tally marks, but they've seen them. Okay, so if I start just filling in some data here, let's say there were 9 kids that said um, they spend 15 minutes to 30 minutes working on their homework. 4 kids that said they spent 30 to 45 minutes. And then 7 kids that spent 45 to 60 minutes. So you can see the fifth, if you have 5 people or 5 things that say something is happening, the fifth one is that diagonal, so you can count easily. So you know that without counting that this is 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. This one is 4, and again this one's 5, and then you just count on from there, 6, 7. All right, so again, this is what you would have in your hands as you're collecting information, collecting data. You would take that and then transfer it down to a cumulative frequency table after you get done. So the cumulative frequency table you're going to see is going to add up the data as we continue. All right, so frequency here we have 9. Again, we've only talked to 9 so far. This would be 4. And so now we have 9 plus 4, so we've got to 13 people. And then 45 to 60 minutes, that'd be 7. And again, we add that on. So we took 9, we added on 4 to get 13. Now we've got adding on 7 to get 20. So this is called a cumulative frequency table. Cumulative means it just continues to add on and add on. If the table was longer, we would just continue to add right on to this cumulative frequency area. All right, so here's a beginning then for collecting data. Just to review here, the population is the group that you're trying to talk about. Since you can't talk to everybody in that group, you take a sample, and you want to take a good random sample so you get information from the whole population, not just certain pieces of it. When you do it, you're having a survey, you're asking certain questions, you've got a frequency table in your hand as you're collecting that data, and then you transfer it to a cumulative frequency table. All right, we will continue to talk about more with data as we continue um, in this chapter.